Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Bushcraft and Wild Edibles in central Wisconsin. And today I'm going to be talking about my knives. And as you can see, I have quite a few of them. So I'll go through each and every single one that I have and tell you why I like them and why I don't like them and what they're good for, and then you can make your decision. So let's get started. First one that I'm going to talk about today is my go-to knife when I'm out in the woods. This is my K-Bar bulldozer, and the sheath is plastic, which is alright. Makes noise if you're going to be camping or if you're going to be hunting or something like that, but if you're doing bushcraft, not a big deal. The part that I like is it can be totally off its belt loop and it don't fall out. How many times have you been walking in the woods and you lose your knife? So that is one of the things I like about this one. The next thing is most of my videos, this is the knife that you see with. It is a full tan. I did do some work on the top here so that I can do my fire striker, so I took the paint off because it's got a hard the covering on the knife. But for the most part, it is a very, very strong knife. It's pretty average for batoning, stuff like that. Keeps an edge very well. And it's one of my go-to knives. I like this one a lot. The next one of the K-Bar family is the Bowie knife. Now, the Bowie knife is much bigger. It's keeps the same kind of edge as the other one. It has a nice curve so you can actually hook yourself here for holding your handle. It does have a fire striker on the tip here, so you can actually get a smaller striker in there. One thing, the drawback to this one is its case. You have to click this thing, otherwise you're going to lose it. I've been hunting for this knife many times because I lost it and I had to go back and search where I was because I forgot to latch my hook. So the only drawback to this is there's different kinds of cases that you can get. It does have a tie strap so you can actually tie it to your leg so it's not flopping around. So there's some good things to it. Most people don't like to have the Bowie knife. It's too big, but I like them. Okay, my next two favorite knives are my neck knives, and for that I'm going to go to a Mora. I have a neck string on it so that you can hold it. Very nice, doesn't fall out, locks in. These are Swiss knives. Very sharp, very nice, good for whittling, cutting your food, doing whatever. I even have split wood with this, and it does work. The newest one of the Moras that I have is the Light My Fire. This one I put a yellow neck strap on in case we can, if we do lose it. This is the one my son takes out sometimes. And it does have a little fire striker on it. And Mora, on the back of the spline of the knife, this is it's got a nice edge to it, so you can hit your fire striker. Locks in place. The drawback to this knife is it is a little bit shorter, so not by much, but you put them side by side, you can definitely see it's a little shorter. not a big deal, but still has the same style of knife. This one actually has a different cut in the front, so it's got another bevel here. So very good knives, very reasonable priced. So I've seen people cut carpet with them, I've seen them do all kinds of things, and they last a long time. The one thing that I do want to say about these is you need to keep cleaning on the knife, because you do go out in the woods and you throw it in your backpack and you forget about it, and you come home, or I'm going to go and clean up my gear 2 days from now, this knife will have surface rust on it. So you got to be careful about that. So the next knives that I'm going to talk about is just some regular old hunting knives, and the one that I am talking about is my buck knife. I got this from my grandfather when I turned 16. It's a buck 119. Very sharp knife, very useful knife. Most of the time I have it sitting in a gun cabinet because it's just a knife that my grandpa gave me, and I bought a case at a gun show one time for it because I lost the case for it. So it is very useful for deer hunting. I used it for many years before I got any of my other ones. So that's my buck knife. My other knife for hunting is my Smith & Wesson Bullseye. Very nice. The knives are good. The little hatchet is good. They could have did better on the case. You wear this knife out in the woods, it's got a strap here, you're going to lose it, because it comes out, even when it's tied tight, it just pulls right out. One of the main reasons why I don't use it. But it does have a nice skinning hook. It does keep a very nice edge. Handles nice, cleans up nice, and comes with a little hatchet for splitting the pelvic bone. I've used them. Not one that I would take out for bushcraft, but it has its purpose, just like every other knife has. So that's the Smith & Wesson. So now let's get into the other knives. Now we have Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls has a bunch of different knives. When he first came out, I got a couple of his survival knives and one of his pocket knives. The knife itself, it has a nice case, bell loop, survival directions, how to make stuff, all that stuff, how to light a fire. The knife itself, this much of it is quality. This much of it is not. Serrated edges, I tear them up. I wreck them anytime I have any of them, so I'm not a fan of serrated edge knives. And after I got these knives, they did come out with a full edge knife. I have not got any of them because I got better knives. But in a pinch, the kids do use these, and they work for them and they have a lot of fun. But this is not one knife that I would want to be in the woods with. So now we're going to go to, and I have two of these. This is the bigger Bear Grylls survival knife. It has a whistle. It has a flint striker, and I have used it. The case, I would say, good. Bad fall, serrated edge. They did make the bigger ones. I think it's called the Survival Pro. I might be wrong though. And it has a full edge. One thing that Gerber did is they made a flint striker spot, and it works really well. So that works out pretty good. This little bit of the knife stays really sharp. The other one that I have here is the one that we have abused. And as you can see, the serrated edges are torn apart. They're actually bent over. I tried to split some wood, and it's sharp. The belly is nice. The points are nice. Right here where you need all where most of your cutting is done, besides, you know, if you're slicing you use your belly, but for the most strength part of it, right in here, the serrated edges screw it all up. It does have a nice back buttstock on there, so you can actually crack stuff. And they thought about tying it to use it for a spear. So it's a good design. The serrated edges just ruined it, but they have fixed that problem. On the sheath, on the back side, it does have for sharpening your knives. I would advise using it, because unless this thing is really dull, this thing is just going to tear it up. And it's not just for touching up your edges, it's for actually honing material off. So I would, if you're just starting out and you want to get a Bear Grylls because you like Bear Grylls, get the Pro Series or whichever one that does not have the serrated knives, and I think it'd be a really good knife. Besides beating up the serrated edges, I didn't break it and anything else, and usually I break things. Next thing was Gerber's machetes. And as you can see, I took and bent this one all up. I did do some straightening to it. It did not last. The saw blades on here, you need to be a half a gorilla to use these saw blades. The knife wants to jump out. It doesn't have a pulling action. So if you're taking twigs down that are like this, that's alright. Anything bigger and you're going to have a problem. And as far as for cutting down the tree, well, you can see what happens when you try that. It just bent the whole thing right up. The other one that I have is new, and this one, besides the glue here, I haven't really taken it out in the woods that much. I am down to my last. I ain't gonna be buying anything with Gerber anymore unless they can come out with a better design. When you're out in the woods and you're doing bushcraft, your knife is your main thing to go to, and if you don't have a strong knife, you're not going to last. And that's my theory on it. That's why I got K-bars. Same as what I had in the service, the same as I got now. But this guy, on the other hand, from SOG, Jungle Machete, this thing does do like they say it's going to do. I've cut down trees with it. I've hacked a lot of things that you shouldn't be hacking with it because it'll break. Thing has a gnarly saw on the back. The blade itself is very nice. It's got a nice solid butt with some gnarly things on into that. So for hacking, for swinging, it also has a place so that you can make this into a spear or a longer object with the holes that they designed in it. It has very good balance for being a bigger machete. Holds nice. So I'm a SOG fan. I do like them. So I will be buying more SOG knives because of the fact that I do like this one. Now we're going to go into the littler things that I have. Every multi-purpose tool that you have has knives, it has saws, it has everything else. But this little kit here that I got from, I think I got it from Menards actually, and it comes with a razor blade style knife, and it has a nice belt loop, so if you want to use it and just clip it on besides putting it in the case. And it also has the wrench and a needle nose for tying knots, for fishing, all the way from you name it is useful, and I like it because it is spring loaded. All the gizmos on the end. You have a serrated knife, you have a file with some kind of on this side is a ruler, 2-inch ruler. It has its Phillips, and it has a regular screwdriver, and on the other side you have a knife, which is it is sharp. Right out of the package, it was really nice and sharp. This side you have a better saw than what that big Gerber has. I can cut down limbs with this faster than I can with that big Gerber saw. Has a leather punch and some straight edge knives in there, so it's your typical multi-purpose tool. What I liked about it is that the case, you can put it on your belt if you want it on your belt. I wasn't too keen on having a whole big belt gear, so I just stuck a carabiner on here, and then I tie it right to my pack and hook it on there. And if I need a multi-purpose tool, I got one. My next knife is a Stanley, and this is my everyday knife that I take to work. Now, I'm a tool and die maker. I use this thing constantly. I strofed it, and I'll come home once a week and stroff it. It keeps a very nice edge. It is a nice little pocket knife. I've taken it out in the woods, and actually it does have somewhat of a nice spine on the back, and I was able to, split up some little wood with it. So in my book, it was nice to have. But my go-to knife is always going to be the K-bars. They're strong, they're durable, and they're well tested. So no matter what knives you get, what you like to do, and it's your own opinion. Just like it's my opinion with the K-bars, it's your own personal preference what you like to use. So once again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit like, and come back and see us sometime.